Hello guys, this is the SWTOR guy here, and welcome back to some more news about Star Wars The Old Republic and what they will gonna do next year, unfortunately. This year is gonna be this for Star Wars The Old Republic, but next year, at the end of January, so January 24th, we're gonna get the 5.1 patches, and they talked about pretty much the cartel market, the Galactic Command stuffs, what they're gonna change, what we will do. So while I'm talking about the stuffs, at the end I will clarify how is these things gonna work out and stuff like that. But let's just run through the things what they are talked about. So pretty much the community topics. Overheated droid slash snowball. Patch tomorrow to make all snowballs able to hit all NPCs. So, if you guys didn't know, if you're doing the live day right now, you're receiving 25 command XP out of these, so CXP. And when I'm doing this, I realized I cannot hit NPCs. And there was no overheated live day droids as well, which I was really surprised. So they're gonna patch it today. I think they patched it right now, but we'll see. Endgame gearing and RNG will be discussed below, yeah. Chapter 1 is available for free trial today. So those who are like done or used my referred link into my description, you will get Knights of the Eternal Throne Chapter 1 for free. So definitely do that if you guys want to check out Knights of the Eternal Throne. So, the Galactic Command changes. The feedbacks have been received. There needs to be a way work towards a specific, I can't even talk, specific slot of gear to fill in gaps, especially set bonuses for those unlucky with the command grades. Gearing your other characters takes too long, which is really true. What are we going to do, or what are we doing? You can work towards specific pieces of gear through endgame activities. Elements of working towards those pieces are legacy-wide. So, unassembled gear piece can drop from operation bosses. You combine command tokens that drop from command crates and turn them into tier gear at the vendors. Command tokens are new items that will drop command crates and guaranteed drops. Unassembled gear components. Drops from operation bosses. Unassembled specific slot on last boss. Other bosses will have a chance to drop random gear pieces. You will need to roll them like previous operation gear tokens, and they are bound to character. Command tokens will be rewarded retroactively when we add them in January 24th, and they will be legacy-wide. Still working on what to do with operations that only have 2 difficulty modes. So that 2 is Karaga's Palace and Eternity Vault and Temple of Sacrifice and the Ravagers. So those are 4 actually, not 2. They are still undecided on if command tokens cost will increase with gear tier. Vendors will be added in 5.1. PvP. I'm apologizing. No. Okay, let's go. Unassembled components earned from war zones used to purchase unassembled gear pieces from PvP gear. Unassembled gear piece token vendor plus command tokens equals a tier gear at the vendor. Unassembled components are learned from all war zones and areas based on medals, match outcome, etc. They are not earned from Galactic Starfighter. I would say this at the end, actually. Value requirement on vendor is not gear itself. Once you get the gear, you won't take it away. Purchase tier 1 gear, then upgrade it to higher. So pretty much is the same as before, actually, this thing here, as previous time with the war zone. So pretty much, you wanted to get the highest gear possible, And how you done it previously, you bought the PvP gear, which was like the pretty main one. You bought it for Warzone commendations. And if you wanted to get the ranked one, you will need it to get the previous gear what you had, or at least the chest or anything. You don't need to be any in there, so any items, mods, enhancements, armoring, etc. You just needed the specific item, and after that you needed that, so pretty much that as a token, and some Warzone commendations to purchase the next tier piece of gear. So these are gonna be the same as previous time. Unassembled components are not legacy wise. They will need to PvP on a specific character, so these are not gonna be legacy wide. Command tokens from command crates are legacy wide, as started in the operation section. When those will be added, PvP gearing should be slower than PvE gearing, since you just queue yourself, but both should feel rewarding. They are working on balancing that. Players that doesn't do ops/PvP, they will offer a way to spend your command tokens on something cool that it goes to waste. And looking forward on January as well, we're gonna have 5 new uprisings, Master Mode in Knights of the Fallen Empire and Eternal Throne, and Galactic Command gearing changes. And January producer live stream, they are talking about the group content. So let's just run through, because there was a lot of information just happened in this 5 minutes or so. So let's just run through how is this gonna go. Basically, you will receive this unassembled components from Warzones and nothing else, or nothing else. So pretty much from Warzones, you're receiving this. But first of all, let's not talk about PvP, let's talk about PvE. So the first 4 or 3 or 6 bosses depend what you're doing. So Scum and Villainy, Explosive Conflict, Eternity Vault, stuff like that. In story mode, you will definitely get an unassembled gear piece. So the unassembled gear piece, how it works, is pretty much the same as before. So before 5.0, there was this unassembled gear piece when it dropped from story mode, or doesn't really matter which mode, but it dropped a specific like gear back in the day. So it was a belt, it was a chest, it was a wrist, doesn't really matter. But at the end, you will receive an unassembled gear piece, which is gonna be like a token, which you go into a vendor and bought, depends what you wanted, the tanking gear or the DPS gear or the healing gear and the DPS gear, etc. So you bought the gear piece from there. Pretty much is gonna be the same, except now they're gonna use the Galactic Command system, and those players need to earn command tokens. So how you earn command tokens, obviously, if you are opening command crates. So this is a guaranteed drop. So if you're opening 30 command crates, you will definitely getting 30 command tokens. The good thing about these are going to be legacy wide. So that is good. Just the command tokens. The gear piece are not going to be. So just the tokens, what you can do with that. So for example, if one of your alts are like doing a lot of PvP, you can transfer or pretty much trade to one of your characters, trade 10 command tokens and do a bit of PvP, and pretty much getting it, you will getting these components in there, but we'll get to that in a second. Pretty much you will need to get these, and that's it. And after that you will get the tier gear. Now, back into operations. At the end of boss, so the last boss in each operation will definitely, so 100% guaranteed, you will getting an unassembled gear piece. on depends what gear piece you want. So that is 100% guaranteed stuff. So let's just say Eternity Vault has the gloves. At the end of the boss fight, so SWTOR will dropping the unassembled gear piece for gloves. And for example, the Nova will dropping the unassembled gear piece legs. Let's just say that. Pretty much it's a really, like, not as simple, because really it's complicated a little bit, but for like an end game player or like an ex-hardcore PvEer back in the day, this was not really that simple if you just thinking about it. All you need to do is going into an operation, receive an unassembled gear piece, probably the bosses will drop 1 or 2, I don't know how much to be perfectly honest, but 2 will make sense. And while you're doing these, you got, for example, a gear piece for the heads, for example, from one of the random bosses, for example, the Nova third one, which is the puzzle one. You will getting the head. If you have command tokens, maybe it costs like 3 tokens and the 1 gear, unassembled gear piece, and 3 tokens, and pretty much you will get the tier gear. So pretty much that is gonna be the main thing. You don't, even if you're receiving command crates right now and you're leveling, doing all kinds of stuffs in the game, do not open these command crates, because at the moment, of course, there is a chance. But if you open 20 command crates, maybe you're not gonna get anything, just gifts, green stuff, and nothing else, and maybe a blue one. That's all. And cosmetic gear, which obviously you're still gonna get if you're opening command crates after the 5.1 patch. So my suggest for this is don't open command crates. Now, before I'm gonna wrap up all of the stuffs, I have to share my thoughts on this, because I know it's a long video, so excuse me if you don't want to listen and things like that. I apologize, but I have to share this with you guys. So my thoughts about this is pretty much what they going to do is pretty much the same as before, which was actually complicated to a lot of players. But I'm gonna go on a different note here, which is pretty... yeah, that just happened. Pretty different. My thoughts about this is... I don't know the word, but I don't think they realize what they're going to do with the command crates. Like, I'm fine actually with the RNG stuff, unless at least 20 command crates can give you 1 piece at a time, which was like, okay, I'm fine with that. But maybe even if you're opening 20 command crates, maybe you are unlucky to receive at least 1. So that's a shame. So they decided to bring back some kind of old methods, pretty much old, or pre 5.0 methods, and putting into this command Galactic Command system, and they mix it up, and that's it. Now, I personally think this is a great idea. Let me tell you why exactly. Not long ago, so 3 or 4 days ago, I done a pug, so pretty much just like a normal group. I done